Hello, greetings, and I'm live from Nigeria, and you can see my name is the Simple Consultant, and I'm one of the members within the Kringle Private Society. And today, the title of my broadcast is "We Have an Alternative to the Current System," not necessarily the current financial system, but we have an alternative to the economy at large. When you are talking about an economy, it's all encompassing. You talk about the financial system, you talk about the political system, you talk about every kind of system, including the education system. And this system was bettered out of this existing system. The existing system we all know is a debt-based system. The existing system we already know is the debt-based financial system, and we are building a system called an equity-based financial system. Now, just to make it very clear, we are building this system from the scratch. We are private, and private means we are promoting privacy. We are not promoting interference by the government, the banking system, or any form of elites. Just to also make it clear, we are self-funded, we are self-regulated, and we are building with love and respect. We do not encourage any form of violence or what have you. Now, like I said, if you are tuning into my broadcast for the very first time, I would appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and also click on the bell button. I would really appreciate it. Now, I want you to please take notes. I'm reaching out to you from Nigeria, and Nigeria currently is it's on fire, and it started with this slogan. They say "End SARS," and a number of people took it personal because, according to the information that I gathered, these people had been molested a number of times by these armed forces, or should I say secret services that is being run by the government. And a number of them took to the streets and they kept saying "End SARS, end SARS," and then it has metamorphosed into a street rally. Everybody are trying to express their views about this kind of system. And a good number of them are of the opinion that the current government is not doing anything to meet their demands. They started with some initial demands and now they have added some other demands. I think the total number of demands are about 28 or 27. I can't place my mind on those numbers. But then they are saying that they are not going to leave the streets until their demands are met. From the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, we have 36 states, and it started gradually from a particular state, and then it has grown and affected all the states, and it's now beginning to envelop the whole state within the Federal Capital Territory. And at some point, the government were silent about it, but then it came to the point where the government has tried to address these matters, and a good number of people are paying deaf ears to the government. Now, I'm trying to give us a background news or a background story on what we are as a community and what is going on privately or personally or as a nation, Nigeria. Now, this is a background story that I'm giving you. Now, the government tried to address this matter a number of times, and a good number of people refused to listen to the government. Well, you and I understand that the government has always had an idea, and that's the idea that they've been using to rule you and I. And that idea is built on the foundation of force. And we elect these people into power through democracy. And democracy, they say, and I quote, it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And we also agreed that the armed forces are the police, are the dogs of the government, to make sure that they enforce the law. They make sure that anything that has been set out as a law or as a policy, it is enforced either by the arms of government. You know those arms of government. I don't want to digress, but the forces that we're concerned about are the armed forces. Now, a good number of people refuse to leave the streets, and if you go into the news, you are going to see some of those things. Before now, they were funding such using the government banking system. And then the government banking system was frozen so that they can't continue. They wanted to stifle the protests, but people decided to find an alternative. The alternative that they decided to go for is to use Bitcoin. And then ever since then, I think they've gotten a rough estimate of some several millions of naira. And they are still doing it and they are funding it. So at this point, it's now building momentum organically across the entire state within the Federal Capital Territory. Now it has come to the point where people are now gaining ground and they think it's an alternative way or it's a way to shut down what the oppression that the citizens has been suffering. Because coming to think of it, they are checking about how much money the senators are being paid on a monthly basis and how much funds that the government are getting on a global scale. If you would ask me, I can say, or I will say, that in my own opinion, the money that these people are getting is quite outrageous. But really, at this point, when you check the constitution of the federal government or the federal capital territory, I think there should be a review. But then a good number of governments has come and gone and they have shied away from that responsibility. I think they are comfortable with the fact that these things are happening and it's more of a master and slavery kind of system that Nigeria is facing. But then if you are going to fight this system, I think the system is not going to easily give in for you to fight it. Now, most of the people that are going about this protest are citizens, youths that are of the Nigerian environment that were built or brought up in Nigeria. The majority of them are students from the universities. Some of them are secondary school students. And then when they saw that this kind of protest could not be stopped, then the government had to deploy some forces and had to use force to try to stop it. Well, that has always been the system of the government to make sure that they stop such kind of things so that it doesn't escalate into a point where people will begin to question people from the outside world, people from the neighboring countries, and then international forces now begin to ask, what's up, what's wrong with the Nigeria? I mean, are the government not able to control their citizens? Now, in order not to allow it to escalate into that point, what the government are doing is that they are enforcing some they are enforcing their own selves, their own terms, and their own laws, so that the citizens of the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria, will bend or will budge or will leave it as it is. This is the system. Now, coming to think about all these things I have said, it is obvious that this system is not in favor of the majority. The majority of the citizens in the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria, are actually being oppressed. But you see, it's a system and it's in existence in one way or the other. In the white country, they have the own way that the government also go about oppressing them. Possibly a good number of them are under mortgages and they are under huge debts that they may never even be able to pay, and then their children will inherit it. The whole system is messed up. Coming to think about it, the whole system is messed up. The education system is so messed up. In this place called Nigeria, citizens or students who go to school, especially universities, they do not graduate as stipulated from the day they enter to the when they'll be graduating. Most courses in Nigeria are usually 4 years, 5 years. Engineering courses are usually 5 years, and then normal social courses are 4 years. But coming to think about it, most of these courses, some of those students exceed 4 years, some exceed 5 years. maybe because of strike, and then there are kind of incoherence or misunderstandings on the side of the government as against the staff of the universities. Then they go on a strike and misunderstandings keeps coming on. When you come into the medical system, you find out that most of the medical systems in Nigeria are seriously dilapidated. They have lost what it takes, and it's very difficult for politicians to receive treatment from Nigeria. They prefer receiving treatment from outside the country. So people are losing their confidence in this country called Nigeria. They are losing their confidence. The citizens are losing their confidence. The government are not keeping up to their responsibilities as governments that should ensure that things are done the right way. So this protest is an avenue of seeing how they can call the government to order. But you see, it's not going to work. That's one thing you should know. From my own understanding, I have stayed in this place for a while. And if you are thinking that the governments are going to suddenly wake up to their responsibility and begin to adjust things, I'm sorry, it's a painful news you should hear. That's not going to work. And that is the reason why Bitcoin came in at the first place. The ultimate reason why Bitcoin came in was to circumvent this system and to make sure that if you get to know about Bitcoin, you can start using it as a medium of exchange. It is not imposed on you, it is put on the internet so that it just remains there. And then anyone who has knowledge about it can use it for exchange of goods and services. And then the system builds to the point where there is a huge economy around Bitcoin, and then people use it as an alternative to this system. That's the whole purpose Bitcoin came in. And other digital currencies also came in. Now, when I'm talking about digital currencies, I am not talking about central banking digital currencies. No, those ones are fiat digital currencies, which means they can be manipulated. It can go up, it can go down. It's not finite in numbers, as against cryptocurrencies that are finite in numbers. How cryptocurrencies are designed is such that when they keep mining it, they mine it until they have finished all the mining. And then as an economy is built around digital currencies, the economy begins to appreciate. And as it appreciates, sorry, the value begins to appreciate. And as it appreciates, then it gets what it becomes more useful. And over time, people will use it for purchase of goods and services. That's how cryptocurrencies are designed. Anything that is not modeled in that pattern is actually dependent or built on debt. Now, we already know how the system operates. The system operates such that when people go to borrow money, these institutions, the IMF and the central banking systems, lend these governments money, and by lending them money, interest. Charging interest simply means they are generating what? Generating debt. And as they generate debt, then they are able to keep these people under their control. They generate so much debt that they are never able to pay. All the governments in the world are indebted to one financial institution or the other. That's the system. Now, let's come to think about the alternative. Bitcoin is the first alternative, and then the Kringle Society is offering a second alternative, and that alternative is Kringle Coins. Kringle Coins is a huge and a much huger concept as compared to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is in the public market and it is subject to manipulations and controls, but Kringle coins are not subject to the public market. It's a private coin and it is designed to what? Generate abundance just by community members coming into this system, and then the community grows in numbers, its purchasing power grows in numbers. It is not dependent on the system. It is not dependent on the kind of concept that you have been so familiar with, which is the concept of fiat market or coin market cap. It's quite different, although they are kind of similar. The Kringle Private Society is born out to eradicate poverty on a global scale. That's why we are existing. We are existing to eradicate poverty on a global scale. And if we are going to eradicate poverty on a global scale, we have to come together to agree. You see, If you look at your paper money system, paper money doesn't have any value. What value paper money has is the value that members, which are the citizens of that particular country, give to that particular money. The purchasing power of money continues to depreciate by the day. It doesn't have any value, and it is the government that gives instructions to the central banks, and then enough money is printed so that it circulates to the economy. There are some complicated protocols that they use to regulate how money goes around the economy. But the bottom line is that it's a promissory notes that are being regulated around the economy. And as long as it's a promissory note, it's debt that is circulating. How much longer are we going to continue to manage that kind of system? This is the reason why Kringle Society came forth. If people agree to come together and say, let us help in making this system stand, of course, everything that is built must cost you something. If it is not going to cost you anything, if you think the Kringle Society is so free, and that means within 24 hours, we can build into 1 billion. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to take your time to understand what we are. And our goal is to what? Help to eradicate poverty. Let me share my screen with you so that you have an understanding of what I mean. Quickly, let me share my screen. And as soon as I do that, within a few minutes, I think I'll be through. All right, now my screen is being shared. Now, when you look at this, the first thing I want you to understand as members within the Kringle Society is if you are coming into this community, the first thing you should understand is commitment. It is like you are getting married. Now, as a Christian, when you are getting married, so many people are beginning to have a different mindset concerning marriage. Marriage, you shouldn't come into marriage with a plan B. A plan B is when you're having an alternative plan, peradventure the person you get married to begins to act up. It is natural to have hiccups in every form of relationship, but it's your responsibility and the responsibility of your spouse to agree to unite together and make a difference. That is what marriage is. Everybody who are members that in the community are into a system that they should agree to stay with until they pass on to their next generation. And that is what we are doing. We are redistributing wealth across the entire world. And when we have built into a billion, we have become an economy. And by that, we have unlocked the value of Kringle coins. Now, if you look at this system, you see clearly that it is telling you that the millionaire and the billionaire programs are a lifetime stewardship and has a monthly cost. Only the serious should commit. So if you are not a serious-minded person, it is not advisable that you make any form of commitment. You can actually come into the community and you can sit down and then do nothing. There are no obligations. We are not imposing any responsibility on you. But you see, it's not responsibilities that we are passing across. It's actually our opportunity that we are giving out. If you want to stop and if you want to stop at the level of just getting registered, fine, you could do that. But then there is so much more that we can offer you as compared to getting into the community and sitting down. You should also know that there are so many upgrades that are currently going on. And those upgrades are going to help in boosting the TBC community to become so wow. In a short while, there will be a training that every member within the community will enjoy. And that training will educate you on how best you can navigate. Some people say that the thing is quite complicated and that they can't get their head around the whole thing. It's going to be quite simplified. By the 1st of November or first week of November, you guys are going to enjoy so much opportunities of understanding this thing on a platter of gold. And I want you to understand that whether you're an active member or a non-active member, you are going to enjoy that opportunity. So I crave your indulgence to come on and then enjoy this offer that we have to give you. It's an opportunity that if you take time to enjoy the opportunity, you are going to be better off. Now, this is the promotion currently going on. You are going to come in as a millionaire, as a billionaire, or as a free. If you are a merchant, I still strongly recommend that you should start off on a free level. This free level gives you an opportunity to have Bitcoin bounties. And then if you're able to have Bitcoin bounties, our system is we leverage on members, meaning that if you bring in members, each time they pay the subscription fee, you're entitled to a 50% of it. It's that simple. And each time you're able to bring in as many members as possible, you continue enjoying 50% residual. And the beautiful thing is, it's a lifetime commitment. So, as a member in the community, even though this person does business with you one time, or you bring him into the community one time, when he does business with some other people, that is using Crinkle coins to purchase items from existing merchants, provided he has paid his subscription fee, you enjoy 50% of that monthly subscription. So I think that this offer is a very, very exciting offer. So I want you to take your time. If you are not a member within the Kringle Society, I dropped the link below. You could click on that link and then become a member as a merchant or as a member. You should also know that our merchant application is out. If you want to enjoy our merchant application, you could also reach out to me and then I'll guide you through. I'll take you through a quick tour so that you understand how the system works and how to get your merchant application. Also know that it is only merchants that are going to enjoy this merchant application and it is free. That's the beautiful thing. You can model your shop, put in all the items you want on your shop. It's for free. But then if you want your customers to reach out to you, if it's on Google Play, or Android phones, it is actually $25. It costs you approximately 12,000 on a yearly subscription to feature it there. But if it's on Apple, it costs about $99. So you will choose whichever your customers are. You choose which one to put it. If you have enough money, you could put it into Google Play Store and into Apple Store so that you can have a wider range of customers. Now, the reason why I'm saying all this is because we have everything it takes so that you can enjoy an economy. You see, so many people are killing themselves trying to stop something that they cannot stop. They are trying to change how the dynamics of this debt-based system is. The debt-based system is dependent, is designed in such a way that they make money from you every blessed day. They make money from you every blessed day. They see you as a slave, and that is it. And no matter what you think, this is the truth. And you continue to remain a slave because you have agreed by default to work with the system. I am offering you an alternative to come out of that system and into this system. You can't do it all of a sudden. It's a transition process. So it's going to happen gradually until we have enough people that can build an economy amongst ourselves. When we're able to have enough people building an economy using Kringles as a medium of exchange, then we may not need their system again. So I am beckoning on you. If you want to be a part of us, the opportunity is there. These are the offers that we have for you, and those offers are mind-boggling. This promotion is still currently going on. And if you are going to be a member in the community, I would strongly recommend that you come in as a billionaire because the opportunity of being a billionaire is huge compared to the opportunity of being a millionaire. There is the opportunity of being a billionaire is 1,000 times more than that of a millionaire. And our system is based on meritocracy. Meritocracy means you are rewarded based on how much effort you make. I mean, this system is a system that has so much to offer to you. In this particular map that you are looking at, it clearly shows that the people who are billionaires in the entire world are so little. They are less than 20,000 across the entire world. And in my opinion, 20,000 are so small. In the Kringle Society, we are giving an opportunity for us to have 1,111,111. And these billionaires are going to come in as we transcend into 1 billion people from across the entire world. Time will not permit me to explore all this content. But if you are in the merchant listing section, you are going to see the existing merchants. We are over 8,000 merchants. We are growing enormously. We are growing very, very well. And this is an instance of what it looks like at a mature TBC economy. So if you want to be a part of the member within the Kringle Society, it may look kind of complicated, but meet me and it can be simplified. I want you to make sure that you don't miss out on this opportunity. So many of us were members in the community. We haven't taken our time to read through all these contents. If you take your time to read through these contents, or take your time to attend meetings. We do have meetings every day. If you are opportune and you want to be a part of it, come in. Only the serious minded are those that will thrive in this Kringle society. If you are not serious minded, I'm sorry, you are not going to go far within this Kringle society. Okay, another thing you should take note of is this new private blog. This new private blog gives you information. These informations are gotten directly from the administration of the Kringle Society. Now, the administration of the Kringle Society takes time to feed their members with right information. At this point, he is emphasizing on the concept of Bitcoin bounty. Bitcoin bounty is the engine of the Kringle Society. Provided Bitcoin bounties are leveraged upon, you would make your money, and in fact, you can make a retirement plan within a period of 30 days if you do the right thing at the right time. I think this is just it. And I'm actually making this video because I want you to understand that those people who are out there and that they are making their protests and then they are fighting and then they are crying and then people are being shot and all that. I want you to realize that if you are going to go about it that way, you would only end up wounding yourself. You only end up shooting yourself in the leg. There is this particular person that said, if you want to end a system, what you do is create a new one that is better and more superior to this one. If you're able to create that system and you are able to get a reasonable number of people to understand that system and move along with that system, then the other system will fall like a pack of cards. And this is why we are creating this huge announcement and we are trying to sensitize people because these governments, they have all the power, they have all the finance, they have all the armed forces, and they have everything it takes, and they've corrupted all the systems with the help of the elites, which are the committee of 300. They have corrupted all the systems and they have allowed generations and generations and generations. And you are going to stop that system. I don't think you are going to stop it. The youths are coming out and they are trying to do what they can do to see if it can stop. I want you to know that those youths they're only going to end up getting themselves wounded. If you are looking for an alternative, come to this particular Kringle society. You may think I am saying something that doesn't really make sense, but I want you to understand that in another few years, you would understand that what I am saying is the truth. Because we are gaining momentum and we are of God. We are not of the devil. So many of you are thinking that we are a system that is not of God. We are a system that is promoting good and righteousness. We are not in support of the kind of wickedness and marginalization across the world. If you are going to work with us, I want you to come in. If you are a merchant, come in. If you are a member, come in. Come in and build. There is nothing that comes for free. And if you are a member or a merchant in the community, there are what you call luxury rewards for taking part in doing one or two things in the Kringle society. I think I will stop here, and I believe that a few number of us would have understood. We have an alternative. We have a holistic plan. We have wallets. We have a marketing section, and we are building momentum. By next year, these people are working on implementing what you call a microchip system. They want to control your transactions. They want to lose. They want you to lose your control. They want you to lose your mind. They want you to lose everything about you. That's the reason why they are telling you that the C virus 19 is going to enter into another phase, and they would need vaccination so that it doesn't go out of hand. In my own opinion, I still stand to say that those things that you call C virus 19 are still common cold. They are just taking advantage of you through the media and every other thing that is at their disposal, spreading false information. Everything now that you are listening to, that you are watching, most of those things are lies. And I want you to wake up. The only way you can get yourself exposed to the truth is when you intermingle with the right mind. And I want you to know that from the top to the bottom of this Kringle society, you'll get the right mind. If you are not the right mind, we can make you the right mind. And then if you choose not to be the right mind, then the Kringle society will not accommodate you. We are building 1 billion reasonable and righteous people who are going to change the world for the better. There is this place in the Lord's Prayer that says, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What the elite did were that they wanted to make the will of God to be null and void. But the Kringle Society wants to change that thing and then allow the word of God to stand by saying, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When you look at heaven, heaven is a beautiful place. Heaven is a place everybody wants to be. As members participate in this Kringle Society, we are going to unanimously ensure that that particular purpose for which the Lord spoke and said, Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, it will stand. And until it stands, nothing will separate us from the Kringle Society. And no power on the face of this earth can stop us. If you are new in this Kringle Society, I think you should understand that you are on the right place. And if you work with us in agreement, I believe we can make a difference. Take your eyes from this protest. The protest will not help matters. So many people, over 20 to 50 people, within the past few years has died because they are trying to stand for a cause that they think is right. The scripture said, My people perish because of lack of knowledge. A good number of people are going to perish because they don't have understanding. If you are a part of them, wake up. Do not allow yourself to be fooled because you are fighting a cause that you cannot change. Change the cause by ignoring the system and building another system from the scratch. And if you do that, then you understand that you can make a whole difference. All right, I'll stop here for today. So till I come your way again some other time, possibly this week or next week, I don't know. It depends on my timing. So till I come your way again, do have a wonderful day. Let me stop sharing my screen. And all right, I think one person is listening and the person is not saying anything, but I believe this particular broadcast will reach out to everyone. So if you are a part of the people that listen to it, do not go out to protest. Do not go out to fight. So many people has gone out and there has been so much clash. People have died and died. You can't change the system. The only way to change the system is to create a new system and then gather enough people about that system, and the other system will fall like a pack of cards. I want you to understand that the goal of the elite is to create violence, create confusion, create anarchy, create divisions, do a divide and conquer principle. If you are intelligent, you should act as an intelligent person. All right, I will stop here. And the last thing I'll talk about is Noiti Lover. Noiti Lover is a social media group. It belongs to us. And I would prefer, if you are not yet a member of Noiti Lover, I think you should become a member of Noiti Lover. Noiti Lover is our social media group that will educate you on a number of things. So if you are not yet a member, get yourself involved as a member within Noiti Lover. And quickly, I'm going to share my link. And when I share my link, if you are interested, then you can actually click on the link and become a member within this our Kringle private society. I'll drop the link here, and I think I'll drop the link after this particular meeting. I'll drop it so that every other person can have access to it. Gather. This is where we are gathering. Gather, and then there is a meeting currently going on in Noiti Lover. Okay, I don't know if there is a meeting at the moment. Now, when you see upcoming training live now, click on it. When this red button is green, it means there is a meeting going on live. Attend that meeting and then let your eyes be enlightened. I think I'm going to stop here. I thank you very much if you have listened to this point. So till I come your way again some other time, do have a wonderful day. Cheers and God bless you. Bye for now.